than chocolate. Okay, so smart city initiatives in our country are gaining momentum as urban areas face growing challenges such as the traffic congestion, climate-induced disasters, inefficient waste management, and digital inequality. And this initiative use digital technology, data analytics, and citizen participation to improve governance and enhance quality of life. Let's say, for example, di ba sabi ko nga kanina, Quezon City launched its QCE services, now portal for business permits, health records, and tax payments, significantly reducing red tape and increasing service delivery efficiency. Similarly, Pasig City, Pasig Pass during the COVID-19 pandemic became a model of digital contact tracing that could be integrated into broader urban smart system. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead.
Thank you so much po. Good morning, Dean Mello, and good morning, classmates. I am Gemma Suarez from the National Children's Hospital, and today I will discuss smart city initiatives, urban planning strategies, and infrastructure resilience. Ma'am Kristen Joy Romero, my partner po in this report, will share the presentation. Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Tin, and next slide po. In the 21st century, cities are facing unprecedented challenges and opportunities. Rapid urbanization, climate change, and growing socioeconomic disparities place immense pressure on urban systems. As more people move to cities, the demand for efficient transportation, reliable energy, sustainable housing, and better access to healthcare and education continues to rise. At the same time, the increasing frequency and severity of natural disasters and environmental degradation make cities more vulnerable to crisis. To navigate this complex and evolving landscape, the concept of a smart city has emerged as a transformative framework for urban development. Smart cities leverage advancements in information and communication technologies, data analytics, and the Internet of Things or the IoT to optimize urban services, improve operational efficiencies, and enhance the overall quality of life for their inhabitants. By utilizing data in real time, smart cities can make more informed decisions, monitor systems more effectively, and respond quickly to emerging issues. These cities are designed to be adaptable, sustainable, and resilient in the face of both expected and unforeseen challenges. Next, ma'am. Smart city initiatives and innovation refer to the integration of advanced technologies and data-driven solutions into urban planning and management to improve the quality of life, promote sustainability, and optimize city operations. Here are the breakdown of the key components often involved in smart city. Next po. Smart mobility. The use of electric vehicles, autonomous transportation, and intelligent traffic systems. A leading example is Singapore, where these smart mobility solutions are integrated. The city actively promotes the use of electric vehicles through nationwide charging infrastructure and incentives. It is also testing autonomous vehicles in controlled districts like the One North and Sentosa, where driverless buses and shuttles operate in real-world conditions. Apps and real-time data for public transport optimization. Best example is the London that uses Transport for London or the TfL system, which provides real-time updates through mobile apps and digital displays. Commuters can access live bus and train arrival times, service alerts, and routes options through apps like the TfL Go and the third-party apps like the City Mapper. There is also bike sharing and e-scooter program to reduce congestion and emission. Paris has successfully implemented the Believe Metropole, one of the world's largest bike sharing programs, offering both traditional and electric bikes across the city. Also, several companies operate e-scooter sharing services like the Lime and Dot, providing convenient and eco-friendly short trip alternatives. These programs help reduce traffic congestion, lower carbon emissions, and promote healthier, more sustainable urban mobility, especially for the last mile connections between transit hubs and final destinations. Next po. Another key is the smart homes, where the integration of the Internet of Things devices for automation, energy, efficiency, and security. Barcelona is known for its smart city infrastructure that heavily uses IoT devices. The city has installed smart streetlights and automatically adjusts brightness based on pedestrian activity and ambient light, significantly saving energy. It also uses IoT sensors in waste bins to monitor when they are full, optimizing garbage collection routes. Additionally, Barcelona's smart security systems include connected cameras and sensors that help city authorities monitor public spaces in real time, improving safety and emergency response times. Also, it uses systems like smart thermostat, lighting, and voice-controlled assistants. Example, Toronto's Quayside project, where homes and buildings are designed to incorporate smart thermostats and intelligent lighting systems that adjust based on occupancy and natural light, and voice-controlled assistants to manage daily tasks. These technologies work together to enhance energy efficiency, reduce utility costs, and offer residents greater convenience by allowing them to control home settings remotely or simply by voice commands. Next po, ma'am. Another is the cybersecurity, the protection of digital infrastructure and citizen data. Estonia, as has been uh, earlier mentioned, is a global leader in digital security. As one of the most digitally advanced countries, Estonia protects its citizens' data through a highly secure system called the X-Road, which encrypts and securely exchanges data between government and private databases. The country also established a cyber defense unit to protect its digital infrastructure against cyber attacks. Citizens control access to their personal data through digital ID cards, ensuring transparency and strong data privacy protections. It also ensures safe communication between devices, sensors, and central systems. Example, Amsterdam's Smart City project uses a secure, encrypted network called LoRaWAN, or the Long Range Wide Area Network, to connect thousands of IoT devices and sensors across the city. This network ensures that data collected from street lights, traffic systems, energy meters, and environmental sensors is safely transmitted to central management platforms without being intercepted or tampered with. This secure communication is critical for maintaining trust, protecting sensitive data, and ensuring reliable city operations. Also, there's the vital for building trust in smart technologies. Vienna's digital city framework is an example. Transparency and citizen participation are key to building trust in smart technologies. The city openly shares how data is collected, used, and protected through public platforms and consultations. By involving residents in decision making and ensuring strict data privacy standards, Vienna has fostered greater public confidence in adopting smart solutions like intelligent transport systems, smart grids, and digital citizen services. Next po, ma'am. Thank you. Also, there's the renewable energy. The adoption of solar panels, wind turbines, and other green energy sources is one. Fe- Freiburg, Germany is often called the Green City because of its widespread use of solar panels, wind turbines, and biomass energy. Buildings in Buvan district are designed with solar roofs, and the city operates several community-owned wind farms. The strong commitment to renewable energy reduces carbon emissions, supports energy independence, and makes Freiburg a country model for sustainable urban living. For energy efficient buildings and smart grids that distribute power efficiently. Example of this is the Masdar city in the United Arab Emirates, designed with energy efficient buildings that use passive cooling, smart shading, and low energy materials to minimize energy use. The city also operates a smart grid that monitors and distributes renewable energy from solar fields and building integrated panels, balancing supply and demand in real time to maximize efficiency and minimize waste. Next slide po. Another is the water management. Smart meters and sensors to detect leaks, monitor usage, and ensure water quality. Singapore has implemented an advanced water management system using smart meters and sensors. The city's new water program, which recycles treated wastewater, relies on real-time monitoring via sensors to detect leaks in pipes, measure water usage, and ensure that the water meets quality standards. This proactive system helps optimize water distribution, reduce waste, and improve sustainability, particularly in a country with limited natural freshwater resources. Next is systems for recycling and reusing water waste. Singapore also is a pioneer in wastewater recycling through its new water program. This innovative system treats and reclaims wastewater, making it safe for non-potable uses such as industrial cooling and landscaping. New water is produced using advanced membrane filtration, reverse osmosis, and ultraviolet disinfection. The program helps Singapore address its water scarcity by reducing reliance on imported water and promoting a sustainable, closed-loop water system. And lastly is the predictive analytics to manage supply during droughts or high demand period. California's Metropolitan Water District uses predictive analytics to manage water supply during periods of drought and high demand. The system analyzes we- um, weather patterns, historical data, and water consumption trends to forecast future demand and identify potential shortages. This allows the district to optimize reservoir levels, adjust water distribution plans, and implement conservation measures proactively to ensure that water resources are efficiently allocated during critical times. Next po, ma'am. Another key strategy is the Innovation Hub, the central engine of smart cities. This combines data analytics, AI, machine learning, and cloud computing. South Korea serves as an exemplary smart city that integrates data analytics, AI, machine learning, and cloud computing into its urban management. The city operates through a centralized system that collects data from sensors embedded in everything from traffic lights to waste bins. This data is then processed using AI and machine learning to optimize services such as traffic flow, energy consumption, and waste management. The cloud computing infrastructure allows for real-time data storage and processing, enabling city administrators to make informed decisions quickly, ensuring efficiency, sustainability, and a high quality of life for its residents. Next is supports decision make The support decision making in real time for efficient urban governance and resource management. Example of this is the Barcelona's urban platform integrates data from sensors across the city, covering areas like traffic, energy use, and waste management into a single dashboard. City officials can monitor real-time conditions and make quick, informed decisions, such as adjusting traffic lights to ease congestion or optimizing waste collection routes based on beam sensors. This system improves service delivery, saves resources, and enhances the quality of urban life. Smart cities then aim to create resilient, inclusive, and livable urban spaces through innovation. Smart cities leverage technology, data, and innovation to create efficient, sustainable, and livable urban environments. Next slide po, ma'am. For urban planning strategies, it refers to a set of policies, principles, and practical approaches used to guide the physical, social, economic, and environmental development of urban areas. These strategies are designed to enhance the quality of life, ensure sustainable growth, promote efficient land use, and manage the complexities of urbanization. Urban planning plays a crucial role in shaping cities to be more sustainable, inclusive, and adaptive. Strategic planning involves creating urban environments that efficiently use space, support economic growth, and improve residents' quality of life. The key strategies of urban planning are the following. Next slide po, ma'am. First is the transit-oriented development or the TOD. This integrates land use and transportation planning to create compact, walkable communities centered around high-quality public transit system. Example, in Portland, Oregon, USA, has implemented TOD by developing dense housing and mixed-use buildings near light rail stations, reducing car dependency and enhancing accessibility. Next slide po. Another next strategy is the mixed-use zoning. This strategy blends residential, commercial, and recreational land uses within a single area, promoting vibrant, active communities. Example, in Barcelona, Spain, the superblocks model redesigned street grids to reduce traffic and increase space for pedestrians, businesses, and green areas within the neighborhood. Another key strategy, next po ma'am, is the green infrastructure. This involves integrating natural systems into urban environments to manage stormwater, reduce heat, and enhance biodiversity. Singapore, known as the Garden City, has developed extensive green roofs, vertical gardens, and urban parks to enhance ecological resilience. Next slide, ma'am. Thank you po. The affordable housing policies. These strategies provide affordable housing and prevent displacement. In Vienna, Austria, the city manages a large portion of its housing stock, offering subsidized housing options to maintain affordability across income groups. Next slide po, ma'am. The resilient infrastructure planning. This ensures the cities can withstand and quickly recover from natural and man-made disasters. In Rotterdam, Netherlands, as a city below sea level, Rotterdam has developed innovative water plazas and floating buildings to address climate adaptation challenges. Next slide po, ma'am. There is also a participatory planning where communities are involved in planning processes that foster transparency equity, and more responsive urban policies. In Medellin, Colombia, community involvement was central to the city's urban transformation. Residents participated in planning projects like the Metro Cable, an aerial cable car system, and the creation of public parks and libraries in underserved neighborhoods. This inclusive approach fostered trust, ensured that developments met real community needs, and helped reduce social inequalities. Next slide po, ma'am. The smart city technology. These are the digital tools and data analytics that help manage urban services efficiently, from traffic and waste to energy and water. Seoul, South Korea employs real-time data for traffic management, smart lighting, and responsive public services. In conclusion, urban planning strategies therefore must be adaptable, inclusive, and future-focused to meet the complex challenges of modern cities. By learning from successful global examples, policymakers and planners can implement context-sensitive solutions that foster sustainable and resilient urban developments. Also, urban planning strategies are essential for managing growth and shaping sustainable and inclusive cities. Through integrated planning, data-driven tools, and community participation, urban areas can become more resilient to challenges while offering improved quality of life to all residents. As cities evolve, adaptive and forward-looking strategies will be crucial in ensuring their success and sustainability. Next slide po, ma'am. For infrastructure resilience, this refers to the capacity of urban systems, transportation, energy, water, communication, and buildings to withstand and recover from shocks and stresses, including natural disasters, climate change, and economic disruptions. In an era marked by climate change, rapid urbanization, cyber threats, and aging infrastructure, the need for resilient infrastructure systems has become more critical than ever. Infrastructure underpins every aspect of modern life, and disruptions can have a widespread consequences for health, safety, economic stability, and national security. Infrastructure resilience is therefore a cornerstone of sustainable and secure development. It emphasizes not just protection, but also flexibility and adaptability to ensure continuous service delivery under stress. The key objectives of infrastructure resilience are, next slide po ma'am, minimize disruptions to limit downtime and damage during adverse events. Next, to ensure continuity, to maintain essential services during and after disruptions, sustainable recovery to restore functionality quickly and efficiently, and promote adaptability to evolve with changing conditions, risks, and technologies. Next slide po. The pillars of infrastructure resilience are the robustness. It is the strength and stability of infrastructure to withstand impacts without failure. Redundancy, the backup system or alternative pathways that can be used when the primary system fails. Resourcefulness, the capacity to identify problems, mobilize resources, and respond effectively in emergencies. Rapidity, this refers to the speed at which a system can recover and return to full functionality, and flexibility, the ability to adapt to new conditions or hazards over time, including reconfiguring infrastructure when needed. Next slide po, ma'am. Thank you. The types of infrastructure systems considered are the physical infrastructure. These are the roads, bridges, power plants, and water supply systems. We have also the digital infrastructure, includes the telecommunication networks, data centers, and cybersecurity frameworks. For social infrastructure, like schools, healthcare facilities, emergency response systems, And for green infrastructure, these are the natural systems like wetlands, urban forests, and permeable surfaces that help manage environmental risks. Next slide po, ma'am. Thank you. The strategies to enhance infrastructure resilience. It has five strategies. Firstly is the risk assessment and planning. Example is the use of GIS or the Geographic Information System in New York City. Through this, the city identify areas most vulnerable to flooding, storm surges, and other climate-related risks. By combining historical data, real-time weather models, and infrastructure maps, city planners can better prepare evacuation plans, strengthen flood defenses, and prioritize resources to protect at-risk communities. For the design and engineering innovations, under this is the building to higher standards and codes. Example is the San Francisco, California has adopted strict building codes to ensure structures can withstand earthquakes. After major events like the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, the city updated its building standards to require stronger foundations, flexible building materials, and seismic retrofitting for older buildings. These enhanced codes not only protect lives but also help the city recover faster after disasters by minimizing structural damage. Next is the nature-based solutions. These are integrating natural buffers such as mangroves, green roofs, and urban wetlands. Example, in Rotterdam, Netherlands, they have embraced a natural buffers to protect the city from flooding. It has developed urban wetlands, water plazas that absorb excess rainwater, and encourages green roofs that help manage stormwater and reduce urban heat. These nature-based solutions not only strengthen flood resilience, but also enhance urban biodiversity, air quality, and quality of life for residents. Fourth is investment in maintenance and upgrades. This addresses aging infrastructure proactively. Los Angeles, California is addressing its aging water infrastructure by proactively replacing old water mains and pipes before failures occur. The city uses data analytics to predict which part of the system are most at risk, allowing targeted repairs and upgrades. This forward-looking approach reduces water loss, prevents costly emergency fixes, and ensures reliable service for residents. And lastly, the policy and governance. These are the cross-sector coordination and disaster risk governance framework. Example, Japan's disaster management system is a global model for cross-sector coordination and risk governance. It brings together government agencies, private companies, community groups, and academic institutions under a unified framework. Regular drills, clear communication protocols, and shared responsibilities ensure that during disasters like earthquakes or tsunamis, every sector knows its role, enabling faster, more organized responses and minimizing loss of life and property. Next slide po, ma'am. There are also tools and technologies that under these are the digital twins, the virtual models of infrastructure for testing stress scenarios. There's also remote sensing and drones for real-time monitoring of damage or stress, smart sensors that is embedded in infrastructure to monitor condition and alert to failures, and artificial intelligence and machine learning for predictive maintenance and optimization. Next slide po, ma'am. The benefits of infrastructure resilience are it reduces economic losses. It means less downtime and faster recovery. Also, it lowers direct and indirect costs. Increased public safety, which protects lives during disasters. Sustainability. It promotes long-term adaptive use of resources and trust in public services. There is reliable infrastructure that enhances confidence in governance. Next slide, ma'am. A global example. Let me give you uh, three global example. Yes. Japan's earthquake resilience transportation, the seismic resistance railways and emergency protocols. So they have this bullet train that is designed with seismic resistance technology and advanced emergency protocols. The trains are equipped with an early earthquake detection system, which automatically slows or stops trains when seismic activity is detected. The tracks, building, bridges, and the tunnels are built with flexible designs and shock absorbing structures to withstand the earthquakes, ensuring passenger safety and minimizing damage during seismic events. Second, Netherlands Delta Works, the advanced flood defense system integrating engineering and ecology. The Netherlands Room for the River program is a leading example of combining engineering and ecology to manage flooding. Instead of just building higher dikes, the program re-engineers landscapes to give rivers more space to overflow safely into widened floodplains, restored wetlands, and side channels. And the New York City's Resilient Neighborhoods program, the community-based climate adaptation planning. Next slide po. The challenges and limitations is that the high upfront cost. Investment in resilient infrastructure can be very costly. There is also a data gap, the lack of risk and asset data for informed decisions. Thirdly is the institutional silos, the lack of coordination among agencies or jurisdictions, and the equity issues, the unequal access to resilient infrastructure in vulnerable communities. In conclusion, infrastructure resilience is essential in an increasingly complex and uncertain world. It moves beyond protection to embrace adaptation, flexibility, and proactive planning. Governments, engineers, urban planners, and communities must work together to ensure infrastructure not only survives disruptions but thrives through them, enabling societies to bounce back stronger and more sustainably. Next slide po, ma'am. A case study on Copenhagen's Smart City and Sustainability Initiative. Copenhagen, Denmark is considered as one of the most successful examples of a smart city and is globally recognized as a leader in smart city development. The city's strategy is rooted in the visions of becoming carbon neutral by 2025, integrating technology with sustainable urban living. They have implemented smart solutions in areas like the sustainable mobility, the biking infrastructure, and the smart traffic management, the energy efficiency, which are the smart grid and the heating systems, and the climate resilience, the management using smart sensors. Their Copenhagen Connecting Initiative, which uses data to improve city services and quality of life, even won awards like the World Smart Cities Award. Next slide po, ma'am. Thank you. So the timeline of Copenhagen's smart city milestone started in 2009 when they launched the Copenhagen's ambitious goal to become the world's first carbon neutral capital by 2025. In 2012, the city begins building a smart data infrastructure, collecting information from traffic waste and the energy system to improve city management. In 2024, Copenhagen invests smart traffic lights that prioritizes bikes and public buses. In 2015, Copenhagen wins for its innovative use of data to connect city services and improve urban life. In 2017, uh, the green roofs are introduced to prevent urban flooding and manage heavy rains. In 2020, the energy saving programs are widely implemented, helping the city move closer to carbon neutrality. And for this year, their goal to be the carbon neutrality, aims to be the first carbon neutral capital in the world by achieving a balance between carbon emissions and green innovations. Next slide po. Before po ending my report, I just have this in my mind that are we moving towards a smart city? Yes, Philippines more towards becoming a smart city nation, but it is still in the early to mid stage of development. Several cities like Bonifacio Global City, New York Clark City, Cebu City, and Davao City have launched smart city initiatives. These projects focus on areas like intelligent transportation, digital governance, renewable energy, smart security systems, and disaster resilience. The national government, through the programs like Sparta or the Smart City Data Analytics Training and the National Smart Cities Program under the Department of Information and Communications Technology, is also supporting the transformation. However, challenges like infrastructure gaps, funding, and data management still need to be fully addressed for a large-scale nationwide implementation. It still has a long way to go, and we are hopeful that a better government will sustain and strengthen our journey toward becoming a true smart city nation. Next slide po, ma'am. And with that, may I say that a truly smart city is not defined by its technology alone, but by the vision of its planning, the resilience of its infrastructure, and its unwavering commitment to building inclusive, adaptive, and sustainable communities for generations to come. And from Amit Ray, a spiritual master and author that emphasizes the holistic nature of smart cities, says, smart cities are the intelligent cities of positivity and happy energy, not the junkyards of technologies, but cities of diversity, love, life, beauty, dignity, freedom, tolerance, and equality. And with that, I say, God bless the Philippines. Thank you, sir. Thank you po. Thank you so much, Ma'am Tin.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam. Okay. Again, urban planning strategies in the country are being reshaped, no, to promote sustainability, inclusivity, and climate resilience. No, local government units, no, are mandated to create a comprehensive land use plans, no, that guide zoning, no, housing, transportation, and environmental management. Cities like Iloilo and Davao have implemented people-centered planning by integrating walkable roads, no, green spaces, and heritage conservation in the urban development. Iloilo's Esplanade project, no, which revitalized the Iloilo River through pedestrian-friendly pathways and flood control, is a prime example of merging planning with ecological sensitivity. So, infrastructure resilience is a critical concern, no, for our country, no, given its vulnerability to earthquakes, typhoons, and rising sea levels. No, resilient infrastructure goes beyond durability. It involves designing systems that can absorb shocks, no, and recover quickly. And DPWH and the National Economic and Development Authority had been pushing for climate resilient roads, bridges, and flood control system through the build program. No, an example is the Marikina River Enforcement Program, no, which includes dikes, no, and pumping station to reduce flood risk in Eastern Metro Manila. So, therefore, the integration of smart city technologies, strategic planning, infrastructure resilience represent the future of urban development in our country. However, still, no, it requires multi-sectoral collaboration, funding access, and inclusive citizen engagement. As cities such as Taguig, Baguio, and Cebu begin adopting digital dashboard, AI-driven traffic system, and green building codes, the goal must be to ensure that these innovations serve not only economic progress but also social equity and environmental sustainability. With continued innovation and governance reforms, our country or the Philippine cities can become models of resilience and intelligence in Southeast Asia. Okay? So that's it for this.